Now look, I was told many times by many people, no Nintendo Direct. Definitely not this month. Probably not even this year. I was told Zelda was the last release for Switch this year. Nintendo was taking the second half off. I'm pissed off that I have to make a predictions video because I was promised there wouldn't be any more games. My job was supposed to be easy. Nintendo was going to coast. They were going to tell their investors we're releasing nothing. And I was going to have to make no videos. It's going to be a long break for me. From July 21st to December 31st, I wasn't going to have to make any coverage. Shoot. Nintendo decides to ruin it all by announcing a Nintendo Direct for tomorrow. A 40-minute presentation focused on new Switch titles for 2023 and some new info on Pikmin 4. Darn it. I was really looking forward to nothing. But then the Infinity Stones came together. And we Thanos snapped this thing into existence. Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. The best kind of morning for a Nintendo fan is a Direct announcement morning, and we got a big, juicy chunker 40-minute Nintendo Direct coming tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. I'll be live streaming at 8:45 a.m. Eastern. That's 5:45 a.m. Pacific, bright and early. Bring your robes. I don't know, get some breakfast, a banana, a cookie, whatever you want to bring, and join me. Link in the description down below. It is a Nintendo party, and don't you want to party with somebody that has been telling you all along there'd be a Direct and there'd be more games? Boom, bada boom. Yes, it's great, it's glorious, but what's going to be there? An Xbox Series X for $45, an iPad mini for $13. What freaky, super cheap dimension is this? The multiverse is everywhere, yet somehow this is in our very own dimension. And it's real, because today's video is brought to you by Deal Dash, an auction site that's been around for over 15 years and finds ways to get you good stuff for uber cheap. It seems too good to be true, but it's not, and the way that it works is wholesalers and liquidators need to shift stuff, so Deal Dash picks it up and helps us get it for super cheap. They have all sorts of great stuff like PlayStation 5s, MacBooks, gift cards, and even cars themselves. You start off grabbing a pack of bids, and you'll use those to bid 1 cent at a time. Every bid must be 1 cent unless you buy it now, and with every bid, a 10-second timer counts down. And you wait, and you wait, and if it reaches 0, it's yours. You get it, like this $50 Target gift card for $4. But if someone else bids, then a new 10-second timer starts, and you have a chance to one-up them 1 penny at a time. I know bidding and auctions aren't for everybody, so if this isn't something for you, that's totally a-okay. If you do decide to try it out and you don't like it or want to get your money back, Deal Dash will refund you your first bid pack. If you want to check it out though, click the link in the description down below, and by using my link, you do get 100 extra free bids, and you can go after a brand new PlayStation 5 bundle, a cotton candy maker, or a huge projector screen for your backyard. What can we expect from this Direct, and what types of titles are we going to see? I think it's going to be a surprisingly spectacular show, especially for games that we've been waiting for a very long time. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hashtag trust SwitchForce. Kit and Krista, Christopher Dring, VGC, RGT, none of them, they didn't get it right? They all told you this was stupid and stopped making videos on a Direct. They called me out individually, and, here we are. So what is not going to be there? I don't think anything new from Zelda in terms of like Twilight Princess HD or Wind Waker HD. And unfortunately, I don't feel like Donkey Kong is going to be there. I'll tell you why specifically, but it bums me out. That's like probably my most wanted Switch game at this point is a new Donkey Kong. I don't think we're going to get it. We will get a lot of good third-party stuff. We know Persona 3 Reload is going to be there, hands down. There's a chance that some of the past collections might appear. We've heard rumors of a Batman Arkham collection, rumors of a Soul Calibur collection. Something of that sort could show up. The Tomb Raider stuff got announced before the Direct. We got the Prince of Persia thing announced back at Summer Game Fest. Although I do expect to see multiple Summer Game Fest titles reappear at the Nintendo Direct. And I think Sonic Superstars is probably one of those, given Sega's love for Nintendo Switch and given sort of the Sonic Mario bromance that we've built this year. I also think, or built this generation, I also think it's possible that we see Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. So there could be a bunch of Sonic in this Direct. And there probably will be something from Square Enix, maybe a new 2D HD title, maybe something different, maybe the Infinite Strash game, maybe the Dragon Quest III 2D HD, something along those lines. But the big stuff we're talking about is first party. I do also think there's a chance Hollow Knight Silksong pops up. Remember, Team Cherry said, like, we don't have anything to say right now. See you soon. The game is grown. It's going to be good, but we have nothing. I do think this is a chance for them to come back. Maybe they do wait until either the September Direct or even next year, but there's a chance we could get Hollow Knight. Now, shadow drops. Could we get a shadow drop? Because last February, we did have a fun shadow drop. In fact, a stupendous shadow drop. We had Metroid Prime Remastered. Enter the Metroid Prime segment of this video. So, Metroid Prime 4 was something I was very, very high on appearing at the next Direct, but I'm slightly more sheepish on it now. Metroid Prime Remastered came out in February, a stealth drop, which I think does sort of set a precedent for GameCube stealth drops, but it came out, and we knew that Metroid Prime Remastered would not release until Metroid Prime 4 was close. Metroid Prime 4 could be at this show. It could be the closer, it could also be the opener, or Nintendo could save it for September. It really depends if the game is releasing this year. If Metroid Prime 4 is indeed a November or December title, it will show up at this Direct. If Metroid Prime 4 is a 2024 title, even if it's spring, it will not show up at this Direct. That is my prediction. I believe Metroid Prime 4 appearing is 50%, not appearing is 50%. It really depends on how Nintendo is laced the rest of the year with their no games, aka, yes, they've got a bunch of releases. Now, I do think Metroid Prime 2 or Metroid Prime 3 could show up, not in full remastered capacity, but in a re-release on Nintendo Switch capacity with updated controls. Those could potentially be shadow dropped. And I bring up the shadow drop thing because Metroid Prime Remastered was just unceremoniously here. Like, it just was given to us for $40, and it felt really, really nice. It felt like a really great gift, and it felt like Nintendo utilizing a great mechanic, the Direct, as a hype builder to generate a ton of positivity, a ton of buzz, and a ton of sales for a big game that people were excited for, but not something that needed like the retail push and the marketing push of a big lead up. Now, there's other GameCube games that have been heavily rumored or even leaked that could be appearing. I think one of them will for sure. I'm leaning more towards the second one, but the first is Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door. Now, this has been talked about for a while, but I think all the recent scuttlebutt on a 2D Mario, including the snitch who never tweets about Nintendo and has been right countless times talking about Mario with a creepy Mario twerking gif. And then we have all the leakers that leak this Direct leading up to this brilliant moment talking about 2D Mario. It seems like it could have Wonder in the title, like Mario Bros. Wonderland or New Wonder Mario. I don't know how Wonder fits in grammatically, but that's sort of the rumor right now. I think 2D Mario being there, plus the rumor of a Mario RPG remake, we'll get to that in a second, I think that sort of takes Paper Mario down a notch. Couple that with the idea that Mario Party is probably either getting DLC or another new game. I don't know if there's space for Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door. What there probably is space for, though, is F-Zero GX. Now, we will be seeing the Mario Kart Wave 5 DLC in this Direct. That's a fun little aside, and it should have a new character. But F-Zero GX is a game that people have been wanting for a while. It's been rumored for a while, and that could end up being a stealth drop tomorrow. We could be playing Captain Falcon in HD on our Switches, wherever you want, tomorrow afternoon. That is something that could happen. And I think of the GameCube comebacks, right? Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, these games that we've heard talked about many times before. Paper Mario, a lot of rumors. F-Zero, I give the most clout to F-Zero to drop, and I think either it could be announced for like a September release or even an August release, or it could shadow drop. I'm not expecting Paper Mario anymore because I am expecting Super Mario RPG Remake. Now, this has gained a ton of momentum in the last couple of days, and we've seen some huge posts saying like, yo, there is an SNES remake coming to Switch. And then Papagenos, who is a Mario YouTuber and who correctly predicted the Metroid Prime Remastered Stealth Drop, shared a video last night highlighting DMs from a random source, and he was very clear to point out that it was a random source. But they DM'd saying, Mario RPG is coming. And this was before the smoke and fire of a Direct, before the smoke and fire from Pioro about a new Mario Bros. 2D and a SNES remake. So this seems to me to have a lot of validity. I am fully on the Mario RPG remake hype train. It has not been released for SNES on NSO. It has not been put in the SNES Mini. It has not shown up in any capacity you could, come up with a bunch of reasons as to why, but it does seem like this could be a really nice opportunity for Nintendo to take a game that's beloved, modernize it a bit, and deliver either awesome HD 2D graphics or a totally new art style. I think this could be a partnership with Square Enix, as they were the initial developers on the original game, and maybe they use their amazing 2D HD stylings for a Mario game, which could be legitimately bananas. Like, that would be bonkers. Not as bananas as DK. I do want my DK game, but it would be fantastic, and that could definitely be a full price box title that would draw a lot of attention. You were talking about, releasing some unexpected big games into 2023, and a Mario RPG remake, if it's a full-on remake, would be really fantastic. I think that could easily be the closer of the show as well, and I think that could be the biggest moment of the show. I don't know if you've played that game, if you remember that game. I have a ton of nostalgia because I found that game super hard. I remember renting it and getting next to nowhere, but I was very young, so give me a little slack. Mario RPG Remake has gained a lot of steam, and between Papagenos, between Pioro, and between other people just kind of dropping some hints about this game coming back, it would be, I think, a mega deal. And I'm super excited to see what Nintendo could do with it and what kind of fan base it could generate in a brand new era. With the Mario and Luigi games kind of silenced thanks to Alpha Dream's closure, it's a bummer that the Mario RPG stuff has been sort of relegated to the tactical side with Mario plus Rabbids. Now, I do expect to see Mario plus Rabbids show up both Pack 2 and Pack 3 of the DLC, but I think there's more Mario than that. I really think this is going to be a huge Mario show with Mario Party DLC. Either Mario Party Superstars gets new boards, or Nintendo is greedy and says, we're just going to release a new game. Mario Party Superstars 1 focused on N64 boards. Mario Party Superstars 2 could easily focus on the best GameCube boards. The hard part is they brought 100 of the best minigames from the N64 and GameCube era. This has me leaning more towards DLC. Even though I do know that, hey, NDCube likes to release titles regularly, and it does seem like, hey, Mario Party would be a great game. Given the 2D Mario rumors, given the Mario RPG rumors, I think that DLC for Mario Party could be more likely. And I do think this would be a great opportunity to add to Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, which we have not got a DLC attachment recently, right? We have the Splatoon 2, we have the Animal Crossing, we have Mario Kart, but getting Mario Party DLC, I think, would help make that another very evergreen title and draw a lot of appeal to a second round of life and sales for that game. I do believe it sold very well, but it could sell even better, and this holiday season could be the big family game. But we also have another big family game in 2D Mario. Now, 2D Mario has been asleep for a long time. New Super Mario Bros. Was a pretty exciting thing when it first popped, but as I've mentioned in other videos, it's not new when it happens 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So 2D Mario should be a centerpiece of this showcase, and I'm expecting new art style, new enemies, new lands, and maybe even new mechanics. I know that Nintendo typically is very safe and cautious with 2D Mario. It's supposed to be the brand for new players, for families, the one that never changes. They've adopted a very Pokemon type ideology around 2D Mario, but we have seen a lot of changes in the last decade since New Super Mario Bros. Was really at its peak. We have new leadership, we have a new console, and we have a new position of strength for Nintendo. I'm wondering if Nintendo, given the more hardcore nature, and I'll say that, of the Switch audience, with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom being like a pretty complicated game, Mario Odyssey being the big Mario title that has launched thus far on Nintendo Switch, and just a general progression of video games, I think a new 2D Mario could be like absolute bonkers. Like really, really amazingly cool, not just for your little brother, but for you. Like this could be a return to 2D platformers being AAA titles, and I'm so excited to see what Nintendo can do with it. It's hard to envision what they could do with a new art style. Will it be more hand-drawn? Will it borrow from the Mario Bros. Movie? I don't think they'll just go with the straight-up new Super Mario Bros. Art style. I don't think that serves them well, and I think a fine break in the sand serves as a great separation between the old new Super Mario Bros. That they re-released on Switch and whatever they're cooking up for 2D Mario in 2023. This seems like it'll be the big November game. This seems like it'll be the showpiece for Nintendo Switch in the second half of the year. And despite people saying there's nothing big after Zelda, to me, a new 2D Mario that's a new era of 2D Mario is pretty darn massive, and I fully expect this to be probably the best thing at the show. I hope that doesn't disappoint you. I don't know what kind of surprises there could be, and we'll talk about that in a second, but I do think 2D Mario is going to blow some people away. Whether it borrows from Mario World, whether it borrows from Mario Bros. 3, we'll have to see where they go. But it could also be totally new. And remember the wonder idea that Piero brought up of like wonder is in the title. There's some strange use of wonder in his leak. So we'll have to wait and see. Let's talk about some wild cards. One, Detective Pikachu. It seems like that game is not canceled. It's been 4 years since its announcement, and we don't have anything Pokemon really going on right now. There's been rumors of a new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game, like a remake of 4 or 5, so that could definitely be a thing. And we also could potentially get Detective Pikachu 2. Some of the leakers were tweeting Masuda saying like, oh, it's going to be a great week. It is a great week. There's a direct. Typically, Pokemon doesn't show up, but if there's not enough for a Presents, they could instead slot the DLC for Scarlet and Violet and a new announcement into this direct. In terms of DLC, I do think there will be Pokemon Scarlet mention in this direct, Mario Kart mention, Mario Party has a good shot, Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know. Tears of the Kingdom is selling so well, and in the past they announced the expansion much closer and even preceding launch, so will there be an expansion for Tears of the Kingdom? I almost wonder if Nintendo would instead save this for the launch of the next system and then kind of bundle it in with a like deluxe 4K version, something of the sort. Given that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and Splatoon 3 still have substantial single-player DLC, I'm not sure that Tears of the Kingdom's time is now. I think a lot of people are going to predict Tears of the Kingdom DLC in their videos today. I'm going to say no. I could be wrong, I'll admit that, but I don't think Tears of the Kingdom DLC is ready. I think Tears of the Kingdom DLC will happen inevitably. I don't think now is the time. I do put more weight into Mario Party and Mario Kart and Scarlet and Violet being there as sort of your DLC. Nintendo likes to balance things out. We're not going to have 5 or 6 DLCs for major games all in the same show, and Splatoon 3 should also be there with DLC. Side Order is either coming out late 2023 or early 2024. That's their new single player. The producer said it has new and exciting gameplay, like brand new stuff. We'll have to see. Will it pop up here? Could be pretty cool. That also could serve as a Twitter announcement, depending on how much Nintendo has for the second half slate. And if you look at it, you got Everybody Want to Switch, which could appear or could not, I don't know. June, July is Pikmin 4. There's August, September, October, November. I think at least 4 more games are coming for Nintendo Switch. One of those could be a GameCube remake. One of those could be the Mario RPG remake. But I think we slot in 2D Mario as one. I think we slot in one of the GameCube games, probably F-Zero. I think we do slot in Detective Pikachu now as more of like a holiday time Pokemon game. And then it's like, do they end up making Mario RPG come out later this year? Do they really push and get Metroid Prime 4 out this year? I think there's a chance of a smaller title, like maybe a Rhythm Heaven appearing, a Kid Icarus HD. And I'll throw a wild card out there, okay? Animal Crossing spinoff would be a surefire success. They're talking about wanting to push 15 million or 18 million Nintendo Switch consoles in the fiscal year. That's going to be tricky without games. Duh. That's why they're releasing games. 2D Mario will get you a lot of the way there, but an Animal Crossing spinoff could really seal the deal. An Animal Crossing spinoff that emphasizes multiplayer and convinces people to buy even more Switches, that really could be brilliant. It has been nearly 4 years since Animal Crossing New Horizons. I guess 3.5 is closer, but 2024 is like fast approaching, and Animal Crossing New Horizons came out early 2020. Now, it's absolutely not time for a new Animal Crossing. Nintendo will probably keep that 1 per cycle, 1 per hardware, but an Animal Crossing spinoff seems absolutely inevitable. Given the popularity of those characters and that IP, the amazing sales, Nintendo would be foolish to not spin that off. If Mario's going to get 60 million entries on Switch for golf and baseball and everything else, it seems like Animal Crossing could at least get 1. Is it a kart racer? Probably not. Is it a Mario Party type title? Probably not. Amiibo Festival was horrible. What else could they do? A multiplayer thing seems plausible, but again, does that fit into more of a minigame structure? Or are there bigger games and fewer of them? Do they go with something like running a hotel? I think there's a chance they could also heavily focus on UGC, user-generated content, and DIY, as that was sort of the big draw of Animal Crossing New Horizons, and maybe there's a more specified way or a unique theming to do that in kind of a spin-off way that borrows much of the structure from New Horizons without being New Horizons, and maybe has better multiplayer capacity and not like boring ride a plane for 3 minutes and then everybody freezes when someone leaves the island. Fire Emblem Remake is also going to get a lot of play in other direct videos, but I don't think that's going to be there either, specifically because we did have Engage at the beginning of the year. Yeah, that was this year. It doesn't seem like it, but it was this year. And we are getting Fire Emblem GBA later this week, right? We're getting it later this Friday. So I think with those two Fire Emblems, I think another Fire Emblem is kind of overkill, especially if they are going to be remaking Mario RPG, bringing back another GameCube game. Like, there doesn't seem to be space, and Fire Emblem seems like it could be saved for an early/mid 2024 title. Space those things out a little bit, ensure some better sales, and avoid burnout. I feel like that game is probably real, but I do believe that it's not time for it either. Nonetheless, it's going to be a packed show. Like, we're talking about a ton of games that could be there, and Nintendo's usually good for a surprise or two. Like, who knows? They could have a new IP, an ARMS sequel, maybe a Donkey Kong tease, but if they are going to go heavy Mario, which it seems like this Direct is going to be heavy Mario, I don't think Donkey Kong slips in. Donkey Kong then seems like a September or February announcement for Nintendo Switch, and the Mario focus does make sense. You could say, why Mario, why now? Especially without a 3D Mario. But remember, the Mario Bros. Movie came out in between last Direct and this Direct. That's a $1 billion seller, and the Mario brand is very hot right now. Maybe it's like kind of like a custom thing for you, but for a lot of people, the Mario brand is like at an all-time high. And I think Nintendo knows that. And they could have easily timed releases to go sort of alongside the year of the release of the movie. You got the DVD, the Blu-ray coming out. Did they even make DVDs? It's just Blu-ray. You have the streaming version, you have the Blu-ray version, and then, hey, this holiday season, pick that up for your kids, as well as a new 2D Mario. I think that's the plan. I think that's what we're going to see. I think the big reveal will be 2D Mario, and I'm so excited. Join me for the live stream. Let me know your predictions in the comments down below. And until next time, baby, what a life, what a day. Nintendo Direct, it's here to stay. So thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Until next time, SwitchForce, out.